Hello, my name is Ivanna Kovalchuk, and I am a senior double majoring in finance and accounting with logistics and international trade analytics concentration at the University of the District of Columbia. Today, I'm going to present an NSF-funded research titled A Decade of Fintech-Cleantech, Research Synthesis, Emerging Themes, and New Directions. This is the outline of my research, and this is my abstract. In short, my paper is about fintech or financial technology and cleantech or clean technology. And I look at these two concepts from the positive sustainable development perspective. I focus on energy sector and the use of blockchain technology as a tool that can provide innovative energy platforms that result in the achievement of climate resilient investment and sustainable development goals. As you know, the Paris Agreement and Sustainable Development Goals, or CDGs, were formed to fight climate change and ensure prosperity for everyone. I am focused in my research on fintech and cleantech in energy sector and CDG number 7, which is affordable and clean goal, because energy is considered to be the dominant contributor to climate change, accounting for around 60% of total greenhouse gas emissions. According to the Energy Progress Report, the world does make progress towards CDG number 7, but the goal is not likely to be achieved by 2030 deadline. By conducting this research, I want to gain insights into the reasons for these performance results and find ways for green finance to help achieve said goals. Before we proceed, it is necessary to understand key concepts that will be discussed throughout the presentation. So fintech is a relatively new technology that seeks to improve and automate the delivery and use of financial services. Some of the examples of fintech are mobile banking, crowdfunding, cryptocurrencies, and robo-advisors. At the same time, cleantech is any technology that improves operational performance, productivity, and efficiency. Finally, blockchain, which happens to be one of the fintech's applications, is a distributed ledger technology that allows data to be stored globally on thousands of servers while letting everyone on the network see everyone else's records in near real time. These are my research questions. So I try to explain the interrelationships between fintech and cleantech. I describe some of the blockchain solutions for the energy and financial sector. And finally, I try to explain how implementation of blockchain technology in the energy sector contributes to the achievement of sustainable development goals and CDG number 7 in particular. This is our methodology. We used meta-analysis to interpret our evidence-based research in 3 phases. In the first phase, we conducted a keyword search looking at titles containing such words as fintech, cleantech, blockchain, sustainable development, and the variations of those. We were able to identify 148 articles. In the second phase, we screened abstracts and full-text articles, excluding 81 of them. Out of 67 remaining articles, only 22 met the criteria of being published within the last decade and including at least 2 keywords. Finally, we conducted an in-depth analysis and interpretation of those articles and were able to group data by emerging research themes in the areas of fintech, cleantech, and application of blockchain. So our first research focus is fintech and sustainability. Investment in fintech companies is rising every year. As you can see from the graph on the left, the total number of registered fintech companies in 2020 was at almost 21,000 mark, with North America being the largest contributor. From the cleantech perspective, which we will discuss next, financial services move towards complete digitalization, which reduces production of paper, which in turn prevents 110 pounds of carbon dioxide per cut tree being released into the atmosphere. It is considered to have significant impact on environment, taking into consideration that paper industry is the 4th largest greenhouse gas emitter in the manufacturing industry, contributing around 9% of total sector's carbon emissions. With this transformation of financial services to green, low carbon, and time-saving industry, fintech complements cleantech's efforts for sustainable development. Our second research focus is cleantech, emergence of a new technology sector. According to the World Bank Group, it is expected to receive $6.4 trillion in investments within the next decade, devoting around $2 trillion to its renewable energy subsector. The more green financing a country receives, the more efficient are its cleantech innovations. Thanks to commitment to provide the substantial funding, countries are ready to do business in the cleantech industry. The figure that you can see on this slide evaluates the country's readiness for cleantech-specific innovations on a 5-point scale. And as you can see, the 10 leading countries are the most developed and high-income countries. They're also the countries whose ecological footprint per capita is far beyond sustainable levels. Therefore, they have responsibility to meet global environmental challenges through nurturing innovations, and utilization of fintech and blockchain in particular can be a great start. Finally, our third research focus is blockchain applications, Fintech-Cleantech interrelationships. Once again, blockchain is a database that takes any kind of records and puts it in a block. In this model, I tried to illustrate how this process works. So each block is confirmed for validity by special devices called nodes, and then changed to the previous block. Nodes are checking devices, and they perform the functions of a bank or any other financial institution. Therefore, a company that utilizes blockchain technology cuts costs by eliminating middlemen. Once the block is there, it is chained forever. So because it can be reviewed and modified only by people with access, it is considered to be very transparent and reliable. While initially blockchain was used for financial transactions only, recently it was discovered that the same process can be used for transferring, sharing, and storing energy, which can potentially result in reduction of energy transportation losses, dynamic pricing, optimal demand and supply balancing, and efficient use of resources. We have analyzed articles within the last decade, and we can assume that the complete synergy between these three elements, namely fintech, cleantech, and blockchain, can be groundbreaking. However, it is difficult to evaluate the validity of this statement, taking into consideration that most of the literature reviewed is of qualitative nature. Therefore, we came up with the following research questions, 2 for each research focus. They can be used as a basis of future research. These 3 research themes that I just briefly described led us to a creation of the following model that illustrates interrelationships between fintech, cleantech, blockchain, and it also provides possible outcomes of these interrelationships. The antecedents box explains how these 3 research themes compete each other. In order for cleantech companies to operate to their fullest potential, they need funding, they need big data, risk management, and digital infrastructure. And they can easily get all of this with the help of fintech. Fintech's main technology, which is blockchain, presents an opportunity to build trust, transparency, and traceability of transactions, making users feel safer and more informed. Next, we have Sustainable Development Goals and CDG number 7 in particular as a moderator, because in our research, sustainability is a variable that affects the strength of this relationship between our 3 research elements, and it impacts the social, environmental, and economic outcomes provided in the box on the right. Based on the analyzed articles and the trends in the fields of fintech, cleantech, and blockchain, we may assume that soon the sharing economy will be embedded in every part of the financial and energy system. We believe that by applying blockchain technology, fintech and cleantech have a chance to give energy consumers the power to understand and use energy resources effectively and efficiently by decentralizing, digitalizing, and democratizing the energy sector. This is the list of some of the articles that were used to create this presentation. And that's it. Thank you for your attention.